Welcome back to the Grant Park Liquor Mart Education Center, where we have been doing with Manitoba Mushroom Growers Association bistro-style soup and sandwiches. Sheila Nash soup and sandwiches can be a little bit humble, but they can also be, as we've learned today, fancy schmancy. So I'm interested to see what you're going to do here in just a second in terms of beverage pairings. But Heather, can you kind of walk through what we've done here today again?
Okay, the first recipe that we made today was called a mushroom soup au gratin, and it was a take on French onion soup, but of course using mushrooms. And it's super flavorful. We sauteed the mushrooms to bring out the most flavor, and it's very nutritious and delicious. That was the first recipe. The second one we did was a mushroom Reuben. And again, it's a take on a classic Reuben, but again, we replaced the corned beef with some sauteed mushrooms, nice, and we used a really sharp horseradish cheddar in there, just to give it a little bit more of a bite. And the third recipe was a mozzarella mushroom melt, great for brunch, lunch, or dinner, and again, topped it with some mozzarella cheese, nice savory.
The recipes for this show and the complete series of Great Tastes are available on the GreatTastesMB.ca website. And one recipe from today's show will be in the classified section of the Winnipeg Free Press.
Well, Sheila, I don't know what I was expecting you to come back with, but I was not expecting this. They all look very interesting. This one I'm super excited about. What did you decide to do today?
Well, I decided to have a little bit of fun. You know, certainly soup and sandwiches, for me, sky's the limit. So I decided to shake things up a little bit. To start with was that sort of a twist on the classic French onion soup. Most traditionally, you'll find something like a sherry or a fortified wine in there. So I decided you'd kicked it up a notch, I might as well do the same. So I've bought Benriach. This is a single malt Scotch. It's 12-year-old, but it's been matured in sherry wood casks, which gives it a whole other level of complexity and flavors. Certainly, you can have it on its own, but I decided to stretch it out with some soda and on some ice. You get all of those sort of earthy characteristics with a little bit of the figs and the dark chocolates all coming together. I think it's going to work very well with that soup and certainly hold its own, cut through it, be just a lovely little drink actually. Next was the mushroom Reuben. Well, there was a few things in there. I wasn't sure where to go, and I thought, you know what, it's bistro style. Why not do iced tea? So that's what I did, but with a twist, of course. I was looking for something to cut through there. There was sauerkraut in there. There was that sharp cheese in there. I really wanted something that was going to cut through and hold its own. So I decided to use the base of Fair Spirits. This is made from quinoa vodka. It's a fair trade vodka, and I've made it with some homemade iced tea and just a twist of lemon. And I think it's really going to cut through that. It's not sweet. I chose to use more of a drier style iced tea, but you could certainly do it by taste. And I think it'll be a lovely little match. Lastly was that mushroom melt, and again there was some gooey goodness in there, and I decided to go with the House of Mandela Sauvignon Blanc. Really looking for something to cut through here, and this is happens to be another fair trade wine. This is coming up from South Africa, the House of Mandela. Very proud to say Manitoba Liquor Marts offers the largest selection of fair trade beer, wine, and spirits across Canada. And it's great when you can't have local to have the option of fair trade. So a lovely little wine, I think that's going to cut through there, match up well, and just be a nice little sipper as well.
Heather Dybert, Manitoba Mushroom Growers Association, thank you very much for encouraging our love affair with the mushroom, as always. And Sheila Nash, she always brings something interesting, so thank you very much. Make sure you join us next week. Manitoba Pork is going to be here as we celebrate the best off the bone. We'll see you next time on Great Tastes of Manitoba. Cheers.
Great Tastes of Manitoba is presented by Manitoba Liquor Mart. Great Tastes is brought to you by GreatTastesMB.ca. Local farms, local foods. Great Tastes is sponsored by Manitoba Agriculture, Food and Rural Development. Great Tastes is produced in cooperation with participating Manitoba Commodities and Manitoba Agriculture, Food and Rural Development. Promotional consideration is provided by the Winnipeg Free Press. We're there for you. Great Tastes is produced by Frank Digital.